Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we are going to continue our campaign of Adventure Tactics Domianne's Tower. In the previous video, we went ahead and covered how to not only set up your character, which is one of the most important aspects of the game, but also set up a scenario, which is pretty straightforward. So, in this episode, we are going to go ahead and play through the very first scenario, Guard the Gate. Just a little bit of an opinion here right at the beginning. There's not a whole lot to this game, but with the fact that you have to run 3 heroes, it's not that I am going to have any difficulty running 3 heroes, but it's the amount of space that 3 player boards takes up, plus, these combat map tiles, whatever you want to call them, plus the scenario campaign guide, which has to be laid open and nearby so you can track the enemy damage on it, which you can see is just tucked off to the side. This game becomes kind of a table hog, so it was nearly impossible to get all of it into the single camera and you still be able to tell what was going on. So I've kind of zoomed in on the action here. I'll be sure to show you the cards I am using, and I'll keep you up to pace with where people are health wise. But our objective is to defeat Rigby here, the main goblin, and if we can also defeat all the other goblins, which these 2 over here are eventually going to come in, then we will have defeated the bonus objective. So let's go ahead and get started. I have already, I am going to go ahead and draw up my 4 cards, and I've already gone ahead and redone the initiative track here. So the enemy is going to get to go first, and so we're going to go ahead and flip over a card for Rigby. I reshuffled these, but we have the same thing, minions on the move. That happens to be, there's 3 of those in the deck, so every gang member moves toward the closest hero and makes a basic attack. So gang goblin minions. Now see, this is interesting. On that card, it's listed as gang members. In the book, it's listed as goblin minions, and then gang archer and goblin archer. So I have heard that there are some discrepancies between the card and the rule book, which is unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure that GM stands for Goblin Minion. So Goblin Minion here has 0, or it has to be adjacent, so they're simply going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. They are not adjacent to anybody, so their turn is done. Then the Goblin Archer cannot make a basic attack on anybody. He has a range of 4, but he's way far away, so he's going to make a basic movement towards the closest hero. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He only has a movement of 3, and he's done. There's nothing on the card for Rigby, so we get to move on to Elwyn here. So Elwyn is our wizard. He has a base movement of 3, but his basic attack has a range of 1 to 4. So I can actually, without doing anything, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can actually hit this goblin minion right now. So I'm going to keep this very simple right off the bat. My passive ability is Blink, which allows me to, once per turn, you may use this to move 1 point of movement diagonally, but like I said, I don't need to move, and this is my starting hand for the wizard, so all basic cards, and that's fine. So I'm simply going to make a basic attack here, which allows me to roll a red die. So let me get all these dice pushed to the side here, and we'll go ahead and roll up 1 die. That is 5. So he has done 5 points of damage already on this goblin minion, and it only has a health of 8. So goblin minion green, yep, we will stick that there. And so he's going to follow up his next action with another basic attack. So we will go ahead and get our red die back, and hoping for a 3, we got 4. So we have actually taken out this goblin minion right off the bat. Alright, so these 2 cards are going to go into his discard pile. And now we move on to Roberta. Roberta's going to get her turn. Well, unfortunately, she is nowhere near anybody. So let's look at her starting deck here. She's got some basic moves, basic attacks, and she's got one of her special cards, Charge. Make a basic move with +1 movement in one direction. You may move through other characters. So this allows me to move 5, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets me close, but it doesn't get me there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I can do, what I have the option to do, is I don't really want to run up there, because then I have to spend 2 movement to just get within range, and then they're definitely in this very next play going to attack me. So I'm actually going to pass. Now what passing gives me the ability to do is at the end of all of this, and let's just say we'll flip this over. How can we remember that we passed? Yeah, we'll flip over Roberta, just Roberta's token, to remind us that we passed with Roberta. I guess I'll notice that because I still have 4 cards in my hand too. I could actually get rid of all of my cards when I pass, and draw 4 brand new ones, or up to 4. So we may get rid of some of those basics here in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and let the enemy go. Let's flip this back over. So the enemy's going to go again. Let them just draw themselves in closer. All right, smash and grab. If Rigby starts his turn adjacent to a hero, he uses smash. Otherwise, he moves toward the closest hero and makes a basic attack. Okay, so he has a movement of 4. Closest hero is either one of these, and he's not going to get there anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He also has to be adjacent to someone, so he's not getting there. And then the archers are going to make a basic attack, which they cannot if a hero is in range. Otherwise, it moves towards the closest hero, so it'll continue to march 1, 2, 3. So basically, they just pulled a little closer. All right. Last but not least, we have Quell here. Quell is our cleric, so she is good at healing, but she has nobody to heal right now. And she's got nothing but basic in her hand as well. What I really don't want to do is run up and be right next to Rigby, but, well, she does have a basic attack that has a range of 3. So 1, 2, 3. So she, unfortunately, is not gonna make it there. So I am gonna go ahead and play this basic movement. She's got tons of them in her hand, and I'm actually gonna have her go 1, 2, maybe, or no, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So if she stands here, we might be able to trick Rigby into going at somebody else. So that's her first action, and her second action is going to be a basic attack. Her basic attack here is 1 to 3, so we are within 3, and it's a single white die. Alright, and just 2 on Rigby, but that's fine, that's a start. I do like how these little health tokens are double-sided, so you can easily flip a 1 into a 3. Okay, so we are on our way. Rigby's got 15 health. Alright, so everybody has gone. We are going to pick these up and reshuffle them here in a second. But before we do that, we get to have the cleanup phase. So each character may discard 1 card. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I feel like Elwin's in a good place as the wizard, so I'm going to discard his basic move. All right. Now remember, Roberta passed, so she can actually discard any number of these she wants to. And so I'm actually going to discard these two, just to see if we can't get some of our special cards in here. And then Quell, she's got nothing but 2 basic moves, so I will discard one of those as well. All right, so we start a new round. Everybody's going to draw up to 4. All right, and then we are going to establish a new initiative. I do really like these upgraded poker chips. I know it seems so simple, but they are just so satisfying to shuffle. Obviously, chip theory games does this in spades. All right, enemy, then Elwyn, then Roberta. This is looking very, very. Yep, it's the exact same initiative. You guys saw and heard me shuffle, so I don't know what's going on there. So they may actually get a hit in on us here. So let's flip over another Rigby card. And lead from the front. Rigby moves toward the closest hero and makes a basic attack. So 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. So they are tied. Let's see. He does not have a behavior. Oh no, behavior. Target's closest hero. Okay, so everybody's target is the closest hero in this scenario. So I'm pretty sure I get to choose. Let me get those out of the way. So I'm going to have him go after Roberta. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I believe he stops there. He's now in a position where he can attack. He doesn't need to move any further. And now he will perform his basic attack, which is a white die. All right, 2 to Roberta. Now, yeah, I'm okay with just taking that for right now because we started with 10, so we are down to 8. Don't need to use my class feature quite yet. Plus, we've got Quill, who's got nothing better to do but heal people. So, all right. And then we have the gang member, or the goblin minion, makes a basic attack. So the goblin archer actually is not given a command, so he doesn't do anything. All right. So it is Elwyn's turn now. Let's see what Elwyn got. He has nothing but basics again. So Elwyn is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, 5 away from the archer. So, but he is not 5 away from Roberta. Now, he can draw a line of sight through Roberta. Can he? Let's double check here. Line of sight. Draw a straight corner. Enemies block line of sight for heroes, but not other enemies, and heroes block line of sight for enemies, but not other heroes. Okay, so Elwyn can see through Roberta. So he is, he's going to just do 2 basic attacks on Rigby here. I'm not too worried about Rigby being taken out. Yeah. So, I guess, I'm just going to roll 2 dice at the same time. I don't see why you wouldn't. So, here we go. And that's a total of 5 between both dice. So, Rigby is up to 7 damage, so he's got 8 health. So he has not done Signal Flare quite yet. Alright, so Elwyn has gone. And now it's Roberta's turn. So, Roberta does not want to keep picking on Rigby. Plus, if Rigby is already adjacent to somebody, he usually does smash. So let's make sure he is kind of standing on his own here. in just a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use charge, make a basic move with +1 movement in one direction. You may move through other characters. So I can actually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I moved a full 5 because I want to be able to be close to these guys once they enter the map. So now that I'm there, I can spend my second action to do a basic attack on the Goblin Archer, which is a single red die. And only 2. Okay. Alright, so the enemy now gets another turn. So let's see what we're doing here. Minions on the move. Okay, so Rigby's actually not doing anything. Let's get this card out of the way. And the Goblin Archer makes a basic attack, which it can. Now, the Goblin Archer, I can't pick up the book because it's got tokens on it, but the Goblin Archer's range says exactly 4. It doesn't say 1 to 4, for example, like the Wizards does, or the Clerics. It just says 4. So I'm reading that as he actually has to move towards the closest hero. Is that a printing error, you suppose? That the Goblin Archer should be 1 to 4? I'm wondering here. They say don't look ahead, but and there's a possible typo in the book. How can you not look ahead? Alright. It would be one thing if his card said move back away, then make a basic attack. And he's moving closer to the... So I'm going to say that he is going to go ahead and attack me for a white die. So, alright, Roberta. 2 to Roberta. So 1, 2. Okay, so we're down to 6. We're still doing all right. All right, and that's it. There's nothing for Rigby, so we get to go to Quill now. So Quill has something... Yep, we are going to have Quill do a basic move, so she can move 3. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, and hopefully 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh. Yeah, we're not in dire straits yet. So she is now going to play her class feature. So she's going to get a roll a white die. Roberta's actually going to heal that amount +1, and then this is going to go into her discard pile along with that basic move. So there's a chance she'll get it back here depending on how long the scenario goes. So just a single white die here, and it's just 2. Alright, but that's fine. Roberta wasn't in too dire straits there, so alright. But that is it. That's all we have for Quill. So let's do a quick cleanup phase here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm actually going to hold on to those 2 cards. And hold on to those 2 cards. And let's swap out one of yours. Alright. So we now get to draw back up to 4. Okay. There's my fireballs. Alright. And watch. And make sure you guys are witnessing that these are getting randomly shuffled here. If we end up with the exact same initiative, I'm going to be convinced that these are some loaded chips. So we have the enemy going first again. Okay. We have Quill going next. Then Elwyn. then Roberta. Alright, so the enemy is bookending us here. Let's give Rigby his turn. Smash and grab. If Rigby starts his turn adjacent to a hero, which we made sure he wasn't, otherwise he moves toward the closest hero and makes a basic attack. Okay, so 1, 2, or 1. So he's actually going to come pick on Elwyn here. Alright. Or no. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2. He still can make it there. Elwyn's still closer, so. Alright, he will make a basic attack, which is just a white die on Elwyn here. And it's a 3. So Elwyn only starts with 6 health. So I'm going to go ahead and use his class feature card and then get the heck away from Rigby. So this is a response. I can play this at this point. When you are damaged, I just received 3 damage. So I get to roll that white die. And this card is going to be discarded now because I used it. So, alright, so I actually blocked all of it because I got the amount of damage plus 1. Alright, and then the archer makes a basic attack if a hero is in range. Okay, closest hero, so it is attacking Roberta again with a white die. Alright, 2 again to Roberta. So 1, 2. Alright, we're still doing alright. We have 6 here. Because Quill is up next. And Quill has got some stuff she can do here. Let's see. Quill is going to play target heals. 1, 2, 3. Yep. She's within 3. So we actually are going to lose this card now. But she gets to roll 2 white dice to heal Roberta. Alright, so 5, which is going to put her back up to her maximum of 10. And then she doesn't have a whole lot else going on here. So, but I don't have anything. I don't have a class feature card I can go ahead and put there. At the end of your turn, you may move. Ooh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and use this. I should have been using this earlier. At the end of your turn, you may move an adjacent hero 1 square. Oh, an adjacent hero. I'm sorry, I thought that meant, I read that briefly as I could move adjacent 1 square. Okay, so, alright, I guess I am just going to forfeit my other action. I like the cards I have in my hand, so I don't want to get rid of them, but maybe I should. So, okay. So I am going to go ahead and spend this one, I guess, sideways to make a basic movement. Now, it's half your movement. Is it rounded up or down? Discard a card from your hand. Your movement number of squares equal to half of your basic movement rounded down. So I discarded that simply to move 1 space, but that's fine. So we'll just move right there. Alright, next is Elwyn. So Elwyn definitely wants to escape. So he is going to play his basic move card here. And he's going to get to go 1, 2, 3. So at least he's no longer adjacent to Rigby. And then yeah, he's just going to use his basic attack, because I believe if I use this, I could be damaging Roberta. I'm not 100% sure about that. Where's area of effect? Spawning minions, line of sight, area of effect. Effects that specify an area of effect apply to all characters that are within the certain distance of the target. Yeah. So I could throw it off to the side of him, but I'm just going to use my basic attack and roll 1 red die on this gentleman here. Alright, 2. So 2 more. He's up to 4 out of 5. So Roberta here. What's Roberta gonna do? Let's get these out of the way. So if Rigby just takes 1 point of damage, he is going to call in these other people. So I'm going to start with making a basic attack against the Goblin Archer, which is a single red die. I don't believe there's any misses on here, so yeah, I'm basically going to take this guy out. It doesn't matter, even a 2 is fine. So he is now at 6, and that's enough to take him out. Alright, but at this point I don't think I could magically hit Rigby for whatever he is, 8, without him activating. Plus, when Rigby reaches 7 or fewer HP for the first time, add 1. So I would have to do 1 foul swoop of 8 damage, which I don't think is possible for me. So I'm going to spend a basic move to actually move towards where I know the other goblins are going to spawn. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Alright, and then Rigby's going to get to close out the round, and he doesn't get to do anything. So we are all set to go here. I actually don't want to get rid of any cards for anybody. So let's go ahead and draw up here. Elwyn and Quill have actually now used all their cards, so they'll have to be shuffling up and redrawing. Give these a shuffle here now. All right. Quill, the enemy, Roberta, Elwyn, and the enemy. Okay, so let's see here. Basic move, attack and target is weakened. Okay, so I think that's what we're gonna do here. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3. No, that's not gonna put her close enough. Okay, so I am just going to have her make a basic move here, kind of put her in a position to 1, 2, 3. Now she can actually heal Elwyn hopefully on her next turn. And then again, I don't really want to get rid of any of my cards, so I'm just going to stop there. Alright, so now the enemy does get to go. Let's see what Rigby is doing, if anything. All in. If Rigby starts his turn next to smash, otherwise he moves towards the closest hero, makes a basic attack. Alright, so he's going to move there. There's nobody else on the board. So he is rolling a single white die against. Alright, and that's just a single point of health. Alright, we're good there. And now Roberta gets to go, and Roberta has got nothing to do, so she could run back here and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. She can't go there. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. No. So Roberta's actually gonna just pass. Yeah. Alright, exchange positions with another hero in range 1 through 8. Ooh, I do like that. All right. So all right, I hate to kind of waste this, but we're going to spend a fireball and we're going to drop it right here. It's area of effect of 1, so everything adjacent to it is going to hit Rigby. So this will definitely fire off the signal flare. So it gets to roll 1 blue die. 4. Okay, so that's easily... So he's up to 11. Alright, so signal flare is going to call in this guy here and this guy there. Okay, and they have the same statistics as the other guys. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Alright, after spending his fireball, he is going to use teleport here, which is actually a free action. See, it's got this gold star here, so this does not count as one of his 2 actions. So he's going to exchange positions with another hero in range 8, which is just barely Roberta. So boop, boop. I'm fine with that. And then he is going to... Who do we want to take out here? Can't reach the goblin archer, but 1, 2, 3, 4 I can reach the goblin minion. So he's going to spend his other fireball to attack this goblin minion, and 5 hits on the goblin minion. All right, there we go. All right, but the enemy does get a turn now, so let's see what they are going to do. Rigby moves towards the closest hero and makes a basic attack, which we already know is a white die. And it's just 2 against Roberta, so she's down to 8. That's fine. And then the gang or goblin minions are going to make a basic attack if it's adjacent to here, otherwise it moves toward the closest hero, which it can. 1, 2, 3, and stop right there. But it doesn't say. It makes a basic attack. So I think Rigby is supposed to be easy. I could be wrong here, but I've seen other playthroughs where the minions' movement and attack is much more aggressive, I guess you could say. These guys are pretty light on the strategy. So, alright, so everybody has gone now. Let's see, Elwyn, yeah, let's hold on to that. Roberta passed. So, I'm going to discard that card. Alright. And now Quell and Elwyn get to shuffle up their discard pile. Okay, so we have drawn back up. Got lots of enemies on the board here. Let's shuffle these initiative chips up. I would love to see all 3 of us go, and then 2 enemy movement at the end, maybe? I don't know, maybe not. So I do want this goblin archer to get a little closer to us. Alright, so who's going first? Of course, the enemy is going first. Then Quill. Then the enemy. Then Roberta. Then Elwyn. Unfortunately, Elwyn's in the best position to take out people we need for the bonus objective here. So, okay. Alright, Rigby gets turn. Rigby moves towards closest hero, makes basic attack. Alright, 2. 2. Okay, I think we're still alright. And the goblin minion makes a basic attack if it's adjacent to a hero, which it is. So it's also rolling a white die on Elwyn here. Just 1, which is good because he doesn't have a lot of health. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Quill is up next, And I believe this is how this has to go. So I have my class feature card back. I know I have to spend an action to play this, but since it doesn't have a golden star above it, it's not a free action. So I'm actually going to play this and then immediately, or put it down and then immediately play it, because it's the only one that I can reach Elwyn here in range. So he gets to heal this white die +1, and so he gets 3 health, which is fine. That puts him back up at his full health. And now Quill is done. So not a whole lot from her, but that's fine. Alright, so the enemy gets to go again now. Rigby moves towards 0, makes basic attack. You know where this is going to Roberta. Alright, so he's up to 4 now. So I think Roberta is going to go ahead and play in her response. When you are damaged, heal a red. So let's roll up a red for her. So she gets to heal 4. She's back up to 8. And the gang members are going to go again, and they are going to attack Elwyn for 3. Oh my. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright. Roberta and then Elwyn here. So we are going to use Rock Toss here. This is going to, allow us to roll a single white die. So we're hitting him for 3. So he's up to 13 out of 15 now. I get to push him 1, and then that's it. All right. And then I'm actually going to use my other charge here to run up here, because I don't want to hit him anymore. So I get to go 5 in a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, last but not least, we have Elwyn. So what can we do with Elwyn? Basic attack and or fireball. Basic attack is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we can hit this guy. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to make a basic attack here. Yeah. Yep, that is correct. Basic attack, which is a red die on the Goblin Archer, just for 2. Okay. And I am actually going to go ahead and spend my fireball to try and take him out. And 4. And that will do it. So the Goblin Archer has been defeated. Alright, so we should be okay now. And then I can use 1 point of movement to move diagonally once per turn. I don't use 1 point of movement, and I didn't spend any movement, so I don't think I can use that. Alright, so we are done. Yes, that's probably what I want to keep there. I want to keep that, and I don't really need that. So, okay, let's draw up our new cards. Roberta gets to do a shuffle now. So now is when I would love to see all of my heroes go before any of the enemies. Quill, okay. Off to a good start. Nope. There's the enemy. Oh, there's the enemy again. Roberta and Elwyn last. Alright, so we know what Quill needs to do. She needs to run over here and heal Elwyn. So she is going to make a basic movement because 1, 2, 3. Yep, she needs to be within range 3 to use her healing prayer. So she will go 1, 2, 3 to put herself adjacent. Then she's going to use healing prayer, so she'll have to lose that card. Put 2 white dice of healing, so 3 for Elwyn. And then she is going to use guidance at the end of her turn here to move an adjacent hero 1 square, so he is no longer adjacent to the goblin minion. Alright. So now the enemy gets to go. We need to shuffle up Rigby's deck real quick. Alright, what do we got here? Minions on the move. So Rigby actually isn't going to do anything. And the gang member moves towards the closest hero and makes a basic attack. So, the closest hero is actually Quill. That's fine. Quill has not taken any attacks so far, so she's going to take 2 points. 1, 2, and we're good. Alright, and then the enemies get to go again. 2 in a row here. Lead from the front. Rigby moves towards the closest hero and makes a basic attack. So, Rigby has movement of 4, so I don't think he's going to make it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not even close. Alright, and then the gang member makes a basic attack if it's adjacent to a hero, which it is. Otherwise, it moves toward the closest hero. I have been assuming that adjacent, as far as attacking is concerned, is on the diagonal. So, 2 points again to Quell, but that I think we're okay here. Okay, Roberta. What's Roberta going to do? Luckily, Roberta has got 2 rock tosses in her hand. So, she is going to spend both of them. Yeah. I feel like this is a better opportunity than moving up and then rolling 1 red die. So 2 whites. And it was for 4, so we easily would have hit him once. We're still within range. We would have hit him again, and that takes him out. So that was perfect. So he's gone. All right. And so now Elwyn, unfortunately, has nothing in his hand that can attack. So he can exchange positions, which I don't want to do, so let's just spend a basic movement to put ourselves out of the line of fire. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so all of his ranges are 4, and then I'm going to spend my other action to place that down. And I'm going to, now that's, yep, it's the end of the round, I'm going to chuck. Now let's keep basic move, just in case we have to chase him. We'll get rid of teleport. There we go. Alright, 1, 2, 3, and boom, boom. Okay. Alright, so at this point I feel like we are literally just 1 attack away from getting Rigby, so I'm hoping that one of us activates before him. And then we've got him. So again, I could have easily just rushed up, ganged up on Rigby, taken him out pretty easily. But I drew it out a little bit longer just to get the bonus objectives. So, alright, Quill, maybe you can do it. Rigby is then going to get 2 turns. And then Roberta and Elwyn. This is looking strangely familiar again. Okay, so Quill, what are you going to do here? Quill is 1, 2, 3, so she can go ahead and use her Divine Flames. So she's going to roll a blue die, and that target is weakened. And the blue die, actually, I think I'm good, because the blue die might be the best in my opinion, because its worst side is a 3. So there's no way I can lose. Boom. So Rigby has been defeated. This would normally be discarded, but it doesn't matter anyways. So at this point we are victorious. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you don't want to see what the end of the scenario looks like, turn off the video now. You could simply pick up on our next video where you could see how I chose to level up our heroes. You would see the loot we got, but you wouldn't see the storyline. But again, this is just the first scenario, but if you don't want to see the ending, please turn away now. You won't hurt my feelings. You've been warned. Okay, so I went ahead and covered up the flavor text for the end if you had just defeated Rigby. So at least I'm keeping that from being a spoiler. But so success plus is having completed the main objective plus the bonus objective. So if the heroes defeat Rigby and his gang, which we did. Success, you have driven back the goblin raiders. The villagers seem to be mostly unharmed, but the second group of goblins stole a baby and escaped east. So, as our rewards, all heroes advance 1 level, so we're going to cover that here in just a minute. Heroes receive the following from supply loot. So, 1, 2, or 3 items randomly selected from Rigby depending on hero count, 3, 4, or 5. So we only get to select 1. Here are the items that we can choose from. So Rigby's shield is a reaction card. We can reduce damage by 1, and this is an accessory. So it's going to go into, weapons, armors, and accessories. These are going to go up into the slot, and I believe that, once you use them, then they go into your discard pile, except for the healing potion here. So, trying to think here what we want to choose. What is nice, however, is that anything we don't choose we get to add to the market and can purchase at a later time. So I think actually I am going to purchase or claim Rigby's sword, and I'm going to give this to our fighter, who's generally going to be up at the front, and hopefully Quill can keep her healed up. So these 3 cards are going to go into the market now and can be purchased later with... Heroes will also receive 1 bag of gold, ta-da, and a sewer key. Okay, so I'm assuming we'll have to use that later at some point, but we'll be able to use the bag of gold to purchase stuff from the market. Now, according to the instruction manual, most things cost about 2 bags of gold to purchase, so I don't think we're going to be purchasing anything right now. Now, this last part is stumping me because it says heroes receive always prepared from the story perks. Well, I have double checked through my box and I don't think I'm missing any anywhere. I could be wrong. But I only have 4 story perk cards, and always prepared is not in here. So I don't want to give away too many of them here, but you can see that these are the only 4 I received. So I'm going to do another deep dive, I guess, looking through all my cards to see if always prepared is there. It seems weird that I only get 4 of these story perk cards, but you can see that they have the matching background as the rest of your cards, so these are basically action cards that you can add to your deck. So that is essentially where we're at, and now at this point we can either pursue the goblins, rescue that baby, going to scenario 5 on page 10. This is the harder one, or we can rest and investigate, stock up on supplies, and search for clues. This is number 3 on page 9. So I don't want them stealing that baby. So we are going to go ahead and take on the more difficult challenge here in the next phase. But before we get there, I want to talk about leveling up. So at this point, we each now get to add 1 level up card to our to our hero. So for example, this is just a brief example here, I could add archer abilities to any of my heroes. Now I don't have to be an archer to add this card to my deck. I can actually just be anybody. Now you'll notice that this one archer card has the +3 as compared to the starter archer card, which is off in the box somewhere, would probably have a 6 or a 7. That's why you always want to make sure when you're building out your heroes that you give them the starter card, because it's got the larger number there. But if, say, I wanted my fighter to gain archery skills, maybe I wanted them to be able to attack from range, then I would give them this card. They are now would be starting. So let's just say, for example, the fighter would be starting with 7 plus 3, and then if you remember, the fighter also has this passive, so the fighter now all of a sudden is up to 13 health. Alright, what else do we gain here? We gain a new class feature card, which is Sidestep. So we would add this class feature card to our, let's see if we can find it here. Shake it off. Arcane Shield, Soothing Bone, Parry, of course it's the last one, and Sidestep. So we now get to add this to our build out, and then at the beginning of the game, beginning of the next scenario, we're going to have to decide, do we want to have Sidestep preloaded on our character board, or do we want to have Shake It Off preloaded on our character board? You can see that the Archer one, you can get a basic move for free, basically, or move out of the way when an enemy comes at you, and you'll actually get to put this in your discard pile and get it back, whereas this one still continues to be just use it and then lose it. So this would be added to our basically character build. We would also add 1 quick shot and 1 healing draught. So these are 2 action cards that we would add. And the last thing, oh, and you get 1 passive ability, which is Scout. So let's see if we can find that real quick. Fighter, rogue, cleric, wizard, archer, scout. So now, along with the +3, because you can actually have 3 passive abilities at any given time, this allows you to, after the initiative order, you can move up or down 1 spot. So all of this stuff is being added to your character, which I think is really exciting. This last symbol here, which I've seen a lot of people miss, is to let you know, and it's a very vague symbol, that you can essentially you have the option of doing 3 things. You could add a basic move to your deck, you can add a basic attack to your deck, or you may remove 1 card from your deck if you feel like your deck is getting too thick. So that's what this symbol means, the plus and the minus. I guess some of the level up cards don't have that. So we're improving our deck greatly simply by adding this archer card. Now let's take a look at what direction we are going to head with our characters. So this is the class guide. This is my favorite book in the whole box, because this is showing you exactly what you want to be working towards, and I like having those goals. I don't just want to be randomly working towards other characters. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you will know that I am very partial to people who can summon companions. So we're actually going to go for the full summoner loadout with our wizard, our cleric, and our fighter, starting with the necromancer. So our wizard simply needs to upgrade to a wizard level 2. So let's actually find that card here. Alright, so our wizard here, this is his starting card, and now I'm going to be adding, because I already have a level 1 wizard card, I don't need to add a second level 1 wizard card. I get to add the level 2 wizard card because I already have one. You can see down here that the prerequisite for adding this card is having a wizard 1 card already in your build, which I do. So this is giving me +2 health, so I'm now at 8 total health. This is also telling me that I have unlocked an elite class, which the next time I level up, I could take him straight to Necromancer. Now, I don't have to take him straight to Necromancer. I could actually take him to a level 3 Wizard, but now that I've done this, anytime I level up, I can make the choice to jump to a Necromancer class, and that Necromancer then becomes my kind of base class. Instead of just a wizard, I am now a Necromancer, so my base stats all change. So we are actually only adding one thing, and that is a dice ability. So we actually get to see that for the first time. So Wild Magic. Alright, so this is the dice ability we're going to be adding to our build here. We can have up to 2 dice abilities and 3 passive abilities. Wild Magic, whenever you make an area of effect attack, roll an additional black die. Amazing, because his fireballs are both area effect attacks. So the wizard didn't add a whole lot here. He had a little bit of health, but he added a great dice passive ability, and but that's it. So very interesting for him, but we are wanting to become a Necromancer. Maybe next, we'll see. We may become like a wizard level 3 before we jump into the Necromancer, but basically I want to be able to summon some skeletons. So let's give this back to the wizard here. Let's take a look at where else we want to go. Here we go. So I want my cleric to become a warlock. So you can see here that she, again, can summon an imp. I'm all about the summons. So she's going to have the ability to summon an imp, but before we can get there, we need to have a cleric level 1 and a wizard level 2. So she's already a cleric level 1. So let's find her card here. So since she's already a cleric level 1, we need to add a wizard level 1 to her loadout. Alright, so you'll notice that this wizard level 1 card is different from the wizard starter card. It's giving her +2 health. It's giving her, though, a class feature card that is, what do I do with those? Oh, they're right here in front of me. That we have seen before, Arcane Shield. So, and it's also going to give her Blink, which we have seen before. So a lot of these are very similar. I believe the only difference is the +2 versus the, whatever his starting was, 6. So let's find Blink here. And there's Blink. Alright, so all of this stuff is going to be given to the cleric, and it's only adding 1 fireball. So the starting wizard got to add, here's my big old stack of cards that are in alphabetical order. So she's going to get 1 fireball now and 1 teleport. Sidestep, smoking bomb, soothing state. Okay, there's teleport. Alright, so now our cleric is basically still has the level 1 here and healing powers of a cleric, but also has now that ranged elemental magic of a wizard. Now, next time I can choose to maybe bump up to a level 2 cleric if I feel like the party needs more healing. But if at any point I gain that level 2 wizard card, which we just saw, I can then on my next time around upgrade to a warlock. So let's give these cards now all to Quill. And last but not least, let's take a look at Roberta. This is going to be my favorite one, I feel like, and that is the Beast Trainer. She gets to bring in the Wolf Companion. I am a fellow wolf packer from North Carolina State University, so anytime there's a wolf companion, I'm very excited about that. And so she is going to become a fighter plus an archer. So fancy that. We already started to look at this. So here is her fighter class. Here is her archer level 1. She's going to be gaining sidestep. She's going to be gaining scout. And now we just need to give her her 2 new action cards, quick shots and healing drought. Prayer, healing drought, and volley. Quick shots. So there you go. Alright, so at this point we have leveled up our heroes. In my opinion, this is what the game is all about. Figuring out who you want to become and working your way towards that. Building out your character's decks in a way that allow you to get there, and learning new play styles, because now all of a sudden my fighter has got range as well, my cleric has got elemental magic, and my wizard has just got a lot of elemental magic. So I'm doing pretty good from distance right now. And even if you do become an elite trainer, or say for example a beast trainer, you're not stuck there. You could actually, with a fighter 1 and an archer 2, you could eventually you could go right into beast trainer, but then after getting beast trainer, you could then give yourself a rogue, a cleric, and a wizard, and then you could become a champion. You don't ever lose these cards here. You're just going to keep adding health, keep adding cards to your deck, which is why you always have the ability to reduce 1 out of your deck every time you level up, because your deck probably is going to get pretty thick after a while, and some of these starter cards will become pretty useless. But that is the leveling up system. I am going to consider whether I want to add any basic moves, attacks, or remove any cards from the deck, but I'll do that off camera. I'll let you know in the start of the next scenario what we're going to do. So if you are interested in seeing at least the second scenario, please join us for the next video. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.